and this big iron door here. So we'll have a look inside the mausoleum and see how many coffins are in here altogether. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I am here in Rathcoole Anglican Church, an old graveyard, and I'm here today to walk around and show you some old gravestones. And there's a mausoleum here as well, so we will have a look at that. So it's a small little village here in Rathcoole with a lot of history, and it really looks like a beautiful old graveyard. So we'll see how many of these we can try and read. So on this one here it says, "This stone and burial place belongeth to William Hillard of Rathcoole and his posterity. The body of Mary Hillard, who departed this life January the 20th, 1755, age 84 years old. Also the body of Christopher, son of Peter Hillard." So it's getting kind of late here when I'm doing this video. It's getting dusk, late on in the evening time. So this stone here was erected by John Clinch of the city of Dublin, a merchant, in memory of his father James Clinch, who departed this life on the 23rd of October 1747, aged 63, and his brother William Clinch, who departed this life in 1748, aged 35 years old. So just along there we can see some markers as well, stone markers for people who are buried there who couldn't afford headstones at the time. And there's one just underneath this tree here. Look at that one. And the inscription, I'm sure, is on the other side. So it says, "This stone belongeth to Richard Minchin of Vicar Street, Dublin. Here laid the body of his son," maybe that's Thomas Robert Minchin, "who died in January the 9th, 1766, aged only 14 years old." So a 14-year-old from the 1700s buried. So the headstone, the strange thing about this one is, see the headstone, the inscription is there, so that means the body is actually underneath that tree. So the tree has grown over the years up through the grave. You can see a wall there has fallen down. They're probably going to fix that up. This one here says this stone was erected by Mrs. Elizabeth Senior of Rathcoole to the memory of her mother, Mrs. Dorothy Egerton, who departed this life the 13th of January 1813, aged 85 years old. There's a really large stone slab grave here, and it looks like someone actually cleaned it and done a little bit of edging work on the outside.
At the age of 22.
22. So it says underneath is the body of Miss Harriet Perch. Is it? I think that's Perch.
Purchell, maybe.
Purchell. The tender female, is it?
Yeah.
Friend of her.
Bosom.
Is it bosom?
Yeah.
Late this stone. What else does it say down here?
Something about of religion and
application.
Something at an early
period. Yeah.
All that was good.
I think it's like
right. So she was 22.
22.
But read the next bit. Enfolded
in the arms of her sorrowing friend. She departed on June the 9th, 1782, comforting her comforters and elderly, all about her. Soon not surprising death. His visit paid. Her went forth. It's kind of hard to read all of it, but I'd love to see it actually cleared. So that you can
edit, you'll see it a bit better.
You can see it, but
it sounds like her friend.
A lot of those. Her friend laid the stone for her, so you know there's some lovely inscriptions on some of these graves. So it's good to see it's looked after anyway. And the grass is cut, and because we do come across some bad ones, as people know when they watch the videos. Very overgrown. Simple ones here, like, you know, there's no inscriptions. But just down in this corner, off down here, in a bit of a slope, I jump down here. We have this big plot, and the iron railing is missing from this. It's like a tabletop tomb, tabletop grave, and there's a plaque in there as well. I'll go in and have a look and see what we can see. There's some strange stuff here. Look, a golf ball. We have a doll of some sort. Look at this. That was left in here. A doll that's stuck underneath all that overgut. That is strange. But this is a grave here, and it says purchased from the Vicar of Rathcoole 1813. This burial ground was enclosed by Thomas Toothill of Rathgar, Esquire, 1829. So that's interesting as well. The vicar. And that's the grave there. And a lot of those are very, very hard to read, those tabletop ones. They seem to be the ones really that in graveyards I've noticed the inscription fades away very fast in those tabletop ones. So the actual headstones that you see standing up last longer. And maybe this is the iron railing from that grave we were looking at over there. It's all in parts here in the corner. So it probably fell down on the left of there. Another one here underneath the tree. So we'll try and find out what it says on this. So this says, to the memory of Richard Adkins, Esquire, of Athy, who was killed near this spot by a blow from a jaunting
car. It's up there.
car on the 11th of February 1827, aged 56 years old. So if you're wondering what a jaunting car is, it would be like a horse and a cart, or a horse and carriage jaunting car. They would have used those a lot in big estates and stuff like that. There's a bone down here. I don't know what that is. Is that an animal bone or is it a human bone? Let me know in the comments what you think.
Almost looks like a hip joint.
You never know what you'd find in these old graveyards. But he's buried there, the Esquire, killed by a jaunting car. Look at this grave here. An old millstone, yeah?
Used as a grave marker.
Good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll read maybe a couple around this area. So this is an old granite. Is this granite stone here? It looks like to me it's
See the shine off it, don't you?
it's very old, I'd say. An old granite stone. And they don't have any inscriptions on them.
No.
You can see there. I thought this name said Halloween on it for a second.
Oh, it does look like it.
It says Miles Hollowed. Now there's a strange surname I've never come across. Ratcool. In memory of his beloved parents, Patrick and Catherine. Also of his children, John, who died April 1881, aged 21 years. And Annie and Bridget, who died young. So, and the Lamb of God is up there on top. So people, you know, always watch out this channel for surnames, because they might come across some of their ancestors, who knows. There's a grave tabletop and we have a spanner underneath. Look at that. Which is strange. That is old. A number 27 spanner.
If anyone wants
So if any of my viewers, if you could become a mod on my channel,
you get one.
you get one of these. A spanner, if you know what I mean. Right, so we have a plaque on the side of this church and it says the burial place. This burial place belongs to the
Something of Earl, is it?
something low. The Earl of Mead and his posterity. Here lie the son John, who died July 22nd, 1764, aged 10. So there we have the Earl of Mead. Right, so I'm going to bring you around and show you the Kennedy Mausoleum. So the Kennedys were wealthy family owners here in the Rathcoole area. And this mausoleum was built in 1828. The first burial took place here in 1828, and that was Maria Bowman, wife of John Kennedy, who later became the first Baronet Kennedy. Later the Kennedys married into the gentry and had among their number a noted Justice of Peace, 3 British Army officers, a philanthropist and a magistrate. And the Kennedy family home, the Johnstown Kennedy estate, still exists and was used for exterior shots. In the 1980s, UTV or RTE channel series, The Irish RM. So we'll go and have a look at the Kennedy Mausoleum, and then we'll finish off maybe with a couple that's over there. We'll have a look at those. There's a helicopter overhead, if you can see that. Right, so this is the beautiful mausoleum here of the Kennedys I was just talking about. And they really built an elaborate mausoleum here. So there's inscriptions on the side of it, so we'll read what that says. So up the top, as I was mentioning, there is Maria Kennedy. She was the first to be interred in here. She died the 7th of November 1828, age only 27. Then we have Sir John Kennedy, October 1848, age 63. Elizabeth Ann Kennedy, 1861, age 62. We have a Captain Francis Kennedy. They were the ones I was speaking about. I'd say that was in the British Army, who died June 1862, aged, I think that's 36 or 56. And we have here a Lady Augusta Kennedy at rest. She died in 1865, aged 35, is it? And we have a Sir Charles Edward Bailey Kennedy, who was born in 1820 and died in 1880. And we have a Gladys Maud Kennedy, born in 1888 and died in 1915. Sir John Charles Kennedy, Baronets of Johnstown Kennedy. So that's the Johnstown Kennedy home. There's a number of other names down there as well of Kennedy family. If you want to pause the video, you can read those just there. And up above the mausoleum then we have the Kennedy family crest. We have a hand up the top holding something. I'm not quite sure what that is. We have a hand in the middle, but that is the family crest of the family, and this big iron door here. So we'll have a look inside the mausoleum and see how many coffins are in here altogether. Right, so let's go, guys, and have a look inside the mausoleum. And the door is probably closed, is it? The door is closed. Sometimes the doors are open these, you'd be surprised. But cobwebs here. Wow, look at that inside. There's one coffin down there on the right, so that's one. There's one line on top of another one, and the one underneath is very slim looking, isn't it? And the bigger one on top. And then just to the left we have, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a coffins in there. And they're all in very good condition, those coffins. The one in the very corner, it's hard to see. But those two there in front, look at that. The Kennedy family. And they're all different style, the coffins. Some of them are probably oak and types of wood they're made of. So I'm going to go down the bottom part and look in this way. And you can actually get a good view from here, look. perfect condition, those coffins. So it's good to see the mausoleum is dry. There's no water or flooding going on here. They're in good condition. Because we do come across a lot of mausoleums and they're not in a good way. And that one just down the bottom over there in the corner.
Stop over.
I'll go over this side and have a look. Oh yeah, you can see the one over in the corner there now on the right. Over there. Look at that. I think the one up the very top there in the middle, that's the biggest coffin out of them all. It almost looks like a casket to me. An old style casket. And there's plaques on top of the one down there on the very right on its own. Plaques and stuff on top, the nameplates. And then up the top we have the window of the mausoleum. So that's interesting to see in there. The Kennedy family mausoleum. And I wonder what's out the back. There's probably nothing. Only just that window we were looking at. Oh, there's actually a plaque at the back of the mausoleum, which is interesting. There's a plaque out here. And look at the window at the back. Old iron, kind of lattice style, isn't it? See the brick over there? The old style window at the back. Just read this plaque. So it says, this burial ground was enclosed by John Kennedy, Esquire of Johnstown, Kennedy, 1829. So that's the plaque there. So and it's good to see that it's not vandalized or nobody tried to break in there or anything like that. What does this one say here? Joan Doring, Emily McLean, Burns, Toddy of Kilmateed, is it? And Valencia Island, actually. So Valencia Island is in County Kerry. So that's where that is. So we'll just move on down here, and before we go and read a few more. We've a pillar here cut short, and this is John James Virchile, who was born in 1805 and died in 1891, I think. And a Catherine Helen, his wife. So it's hard to read that, but the pillar cut short is obviously I'd say they lost one of their children very young, or I think, or one of the family members must have died very, very young. And a lovely grave there as well. Catherine is the name on this. Catherine Francis. In loving memory of Esther Dornford Hornby, who fell asleep May 1812, widow of Arthur Hornby. So guys, the wind is picking up here, and I think I'll leave it at that. The rain is coming as well. The sky is getting dark, so I'm going to leave it at that. If you like this walk around here and the old history, and of course the beautiful Kennedy Mausoleum, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free to subscribe, and follow me on my journeys as I go around all these beautiful places. So until the next time, take care, and I'll see you on the next adventure.